Testing, 1, 2, 3. I think there's a little bit of delay, so I don't know if I'm fully live. Put a 0 down in the chat below if I am live. That'll really help me out because I know like when to start. So today what we're doing is let's talk about how one of my students actually went and he went from like 0 to 6K per month, but in the last week he's added about $4,400 per month to his monthly recurring revenue. So he finally crossed $10,000 in monthly revenue. So that's not counting like cleanups and compilations, right? Because like cleanup revenue, I like that as like just a cool kind of almost like a vacation fund, but I don't really like counting that towards like your income, right? Because it's like you might get like a giant cleanup one time, but if you don't get more cleanups, then it's like it just goes back to whatever your regular income is. So I always like to focus on like the monthly recurring revenue. Also, if you're watching this thing live, type in hashtag team live, and I will actually be able to start saying some different things. We can like maybe make it a little bit more interactive. Or if you're watching this thing on the replay, right, in hashtag team replay, so I know like to keep posting the replay. Because if I don't get a lot of people watching the replay, then it's like I'll just do it live and just like keep it there, right? So I kind of want to see like where people are going, where people are seeing it, so I can make some different things inside the future. Also, if you want some help growing your business so you don't have to make a lot of mistakes that cause most people to fail, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of one of our programs. Okay? So, jumping into this thing, okay, I like to divide this video probably into 2 to 3 different sections based on like what was the most important thing for him. So, to go from 0 to 6K per month, that took him about, I'd like to say it was about 3 months to do so, right? Now, the reason 0 to about 5K per month for most people is about learning how to do your consultation calls. So really having a good solid process in place to where business owners see you, they like you, they want to pull the trigger and they want to move forward. Okay? It's about learning how to really have the presentations, learning how to ask good questions, how to build a relationship, how to talk about the value you're going to provide, and also how to make sure you can really cause like some urgency in people so that the business owners don't just like stick and like kind of hang around for like 6 to 12 months. Because like when I first got started in my accounting business, my weaknesses were really in the sales section, but I didn't know that, right? Because I was like, okay, I need to go get more leads, I need to go get more like network events, I need to go do more flyers, I need to go talk to more people, do more cold calls. But really, when the business started taking off, it wasn't because I was getting a million leads. It was because I was just taking advantage of the opportunities and situations that I was put in front of, and my sales skills that I started developing were the thing that actually enabled me to go and like find more success. So it's all about sales in the beginning. Now, one of the most important things when you start going from like we'll say about 4K to about 10K is really understanding your pricing. So really understanding your pricing is really about understanding what is the value you bring, what is the business owner situation like currently, and also like what is the expected goal or direct lift someone is going to get from working with you. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about understanding the business owner's business. So a lot of times what happens is people's pricing models do not fit the business owner they are speaking to. So I always talk about it like on these different videos, whether you watch my YouTube channel or you watch this in our Facebook group or my Facebook profile, it doesn't really matter, right? I usually talk about $500 to $5,000 per month, right? And that's a consistent range we teach our students to price, and that's the pricing we do for our bookkeeping clients. Now, in order to do that, there is a very specific set of businesses that we're looking for, right? We're looking for businesses between 500,000 to about $5 million per year, right? Because those are kind of the businesses that can support, excuse me, that can support that level of like income and that just that level. Now, why is that significant? Because a lot of people, when they start their accounting or bookkeeping business, just go after businesses that are like in the startup mode and have like zero dollars in revenue, or they're going after like solopreneurs that have like less than $100,000. So let me even kind of take a step back. Why is that bad to go after a solopreneur that's making less than $100,000? It's not inherently bad because they're not like bad people. It's just if you're trying to charge a mid-ticket price of 500 to 5,000 per month, if you're going after a low-ticket kind of situation or low-ticket business, it's going to be a mismatch. And that's when you're going to have a lot of people like hemming and hawing, or they need to go talk to 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 different kinds of people. And it does get a lot harder, right? What I've actually found is that the business owners that are making more money are more likely to spend to test things out because they don't mind like losing money on a test. So to put it in perspective, right? Um, The hardest thing that happens for a new business owner is knowing who to trust with their limited funds. When most new businesses start, and this is not talking about like accounting or bookkeeping business, I'm just talking about just like let's say like a construction business. Let's say like we'll even make like a barber for example. So let's say it's a barber. In the first year, they're trying to get their first round of clients. They're trying to maintain like their booth fees. They're trying to go and build a brand. They're trying to learn sales. They're trying to go and get the right amount of supplies. They have to go invest in their clippers. They have to go invest in a lot of different things, right? So they're not thinking about investing in people. They're trying to make as much money as possible so they can feed their family, right? In a lot of cases, they're going to be under six figures in that first year. So they probably don't have that much money to go around. So if you're asking for $500, per month, that's going to be about 6,000 per year. If they're only making $100,000, that's 6% of their revenue. And then you also got to remember that's 6% of their revenue. What is their actual take-home profit off of that? Right? If they're like amazing, right, they might be at like 50 to 60%, right? Most businesses, like real businesses, will operate at like a 10 to a 35% margin. If you're dealing with like a solopreneur, they might be able to cut a little bit of corners and keep things tight. They might be at 50% margin. Okay, so cool. So let's say that we are at that their net profit is about 50,000, and that's before taxes, right? So after taxes, they might only make what, probably 35 to 40 grand. So if you're asking for $6,000, that is between what is that, 1/6 or even like 1/5 of their income, right? 20% of their income. They're not going to want to pay that. They just can't afford that mentally or even physically, right? So you have to go after companies that are doing a little bit better. Now, there's a difference between a startup slash a solopreneur and a new business with an experienced owner. Okay, so the exception to that rule of going after like a small business like that is if the owner has ran a larger business in the past. So I'll give you an example. One of our clients, his name is Tony. He has a giant construction business, and when he basically, we saw him on like LinkedIn. We found him on LinkedIn, and he was starting a non-profit, but we didn't know he had the second business because he didn't have a second business like listed on his LinkedIn. So we were talking to him, and it was very, very clear, very early on, he understood exactly what he was doing with his business, and like you could tell very quickly, this guy is going to be making some good money very, very quickly because he knows what he's doing. In that kind of deal, in that kind of arrangement, you can build your price with like some milestones in place so that you can get into that like $500,000, $2,000 per month range, even when the business owner is small, in a way that's very, very attractive to them. We do teach that inside our mentorship program, so they'll be able to go. But it's all about having like the understanding of like what is the business owner actually like gonna be at, and like what are the business fundamentals and the business just like actually operate, right? Because if you come in like thinking that person's making $1 million a year, but they're really only making 100,000 a year, that's very, very, very hard. And the way you're going to be talking to them is different, and it's going to be a mismatch, and the way that they kind of like feel about you is a mismatch, and it can be very, very confusing, right? Next thing, you have to understand like what is the value, and then you can actually see if your price is reasonable in comparison to both how much they bring in and the value that you're actually providing, right? So one reason why it's really easy for a lot of like tax professionals to sell tax plans for a really good amount of money is because there's a direct relationship to how much money they're actually like saving for the business. Now, when it comes to saving money, if you actually understand how to do sales properly, you can really pitch that by saving money, you're actually helping the business owner make money, right? That's just a much more clear version of like a value transfer. Another way that you can actually do it is you can actually talk about, let's say that a company is a doctor's office. They have a very, very large account receivable because maybe they deal with like insurance, right? You can literally show how you're directly impacting the revenue by being able to help them really collect on the AR, right? That's why a lot of doctors, like, they'll look for like accountants and bookkeepers that do accounting, bookkeeping, and the billing. And it's not that you have to do all three, but if you can do all three, it really is kind of cool because then you can be like an all-in-one solution for them. You can make a lot of money doing that. But it's just a very, very, very direct problem. So they don't have that, if they don't know how to do invoicing, right? They don't have anyone invoicing, it's just them. They could literally lose a significant amount of money if they don't have like a hang of that. Or if they don't understand, like maybe they're working with a billing company or they have a biller on staff, but they don't really understand like what is the time frame with which they're going to actually be getting the money into their account after it's AR. That makes it really tough for them to be able to make really good business decisions. So it causes a lot of like stress, right? So by being able to really talk about how you're going to help them overcome this stress, it makes it a lot easier for them to like feel like, okay, cool, this is going to be like one less thing I have to think about. This can allow me to move my business faster. I can invest in advertisements. I can move a lot faster, and I can grow my business better. And when you're able to do that, you become, I almost like to think of it like you're trading dollars for dollars, right? So you're trading a little bit of money. So they're giving you $6,000, and that is enabling them to go get an extra 200,000 or $300,000. Anytime you can do that, anytime that someone can give $1 in and at least get $3 back in return, they're going to do that in most cases. In some cases, if you can get to like 1 to 5 or 1 out of 10, so $1 in, $10 out, it's gonna be a no-brainer, and it's very, 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 very unlikely that they're going to say no to the price point or no to the offer that you're making. So you always have to be thinking about that because that's what's going to be valuable to them. A lot of business owners like they're really focused on returns. And as you get more and more established in business, you don't really necessarily think about business the same way as someone who's like a beginner. Because it's not just about how much money do you keep, but it's also about like what is the enterprise value? Where's the company going? Um, what is my average on time for receivables, right? It's like, do I have like money that's out there sitting out there for 2, 3, 4, 5 years? Because like when you're really small and you need the money, like that can be bad. But for certain companies, the more they have an AR, right, the better and like the higher the business can be valued because that is more certainty that income is going to keep going inside the future. So if they ever want to sell the business, right? So you have to really understand. A lot of people like they're just trying to understand bookkeeping when you really have to understand business. And then once you understand business, then you can talk the language and you can really resonate with these business owners very, very, very consistently, right? That's the problem that everyone's kind of struggles. Everyone's thinking like they're just trying to like sell QuickBooks. It's like no, no, no. You have to understand business, and once you understand business, you start naturally talking in the things that business owners care about. And once you start talking about what business owners care about, now they start caring about you. Once they start caring about you, you can negotiate higher prices. They will stay with you for longer. And it makes it a lot easier for you to go. Next thing is going to be marketing, okay? So when most people think about marketing, they are just thinking about like, can I go on like a Bark or an Upwork or like where are the magic clients? And it's not like that. It's where is the easiest place for you to go and spend the next 6 months to a year spreading a message and marketing so you can build enough relationships so you can have that flow through of clients coming in naturally, right? So like within the first 3 months, generally what I like to do is I like doing referral partnerships. So I'm going to talk about like LinkedIn on this one. So I like using LinkedIn to go and build direct client relationships as well as referral partner relationships. So within like the first like 3 months I'm in business, I'm splitting 50-50. So 50% of my time is going to go directly to building relationships with referral partners on LinkedIn. The second 50% is going to go directly to clients, and like we have like different messenger scripts to give the students in our program of how to actually go and interact with people to get them to want to work with you and to want to pay for your prices for your service, right? So why am I splitting that time? Why am I not just going directly after clients? Because I'm not just focused on getting my first client or my second client. I'm focused on building a business that lasts, that 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years is still around. So the way that you do that is by feeding yourself in the short term with half your effort going to direct clients, and then you're feeding yourself for the long term by getting the referral partners. But you want to do both. So you're going to direct clients. The only reason you're going to direct clients is just so you can like build some encouragement and you can be like, okay, cool, this actually working. I can make this work. I can make this work. I have income coming in. The business is real. But then the referral partnerships, what that does is like they will feed you now, and then they start giving you some of your referral partners will give you clients like on day one. Some will take 10 days, some will take 3 months, some will take 6 months. The reason why it's cool is because you're balancing and you're collecting clients in the short term, and then there's going to be a wave of these new referrals that come in 3 to 6 months from now after you start getting busy and don't have as much time to do marketing. The problem most people do is that they spend all their time directly going after clients. So as soon as their client workload picks up, they stop all marketing and their practice stalls out until they can carve up enough time to go back and do the marketing. Where instead, if you're doing this like short-term and long-term approach, when your time essentially gets filled up as you get more clients, you don't have to worry or be upset that your marketing stopped because you have this invisible hand, which are your referral partners that are constantly out there, going out there and actually getting relationships started for you. And then what starts happening is all you do is just answer the phone, right? Because it's like, hey, so-and-so said that you're a person that can help with this. Is this something you can do? Yes. Then you have to schedule your consultation call, and since you know how to speak business, like we talked about in the first one, you understand how to do the value, you're valuable to business owners, you can close a very high percentage, and you have a pretty much a 90% close rate. Off of those referrals that come from these referral partners, you should be closing 95%. It should actually feel weird if someone comes from a referral and they don't pay you money. That should be like a very, very weird occurrence to you, right? Because like these referral partners really build you up. They know when someone's looking for help. They know who's looking for help. They know exactly how much help the person needs. And when the lead comes to you, it's so much easier. That's how this dude was able to go and get the extra $4,400 last week. It wasn't like he was still doing the same things that he was doing marketing wise from 0 to 6. It was just that he had a wave of referrals come in from 2 different referral partners who each sent him a pretty good amount of leads. I think one sent like a lead for 1,000 a month. The other one sent like I think a couple for like 750. But it all added up to about $4,400. But it wasn't like my student was like meticulously marketing and talking to people and going to networking events. No, no, no. It just kind of flowed to him from the work he did in the beginning when he was at $0 per month. Then when he got to 6,000 and didn't have as much time to market, then that's when those referrals came and he got the extra $4,400 per month. So it's not like the sporadic action you have to be constantly doing. It's about learning how to be very strategic with your business, pricing, sales, and marketing. And once you have that, then you can grow your business, and that's when you get more of that freedom, and when you're able to like leave your job without ever having to like worry about going back to it, right? Because I mean that's the biggest thing. That's the real thing. It's like we don't ever want to worry about going back to our job. We want to make sure that our business is very self-sufficient. We want to make sure that it not only is it self-sufficient, we have to make sure it's like very lean, right? So we don't want to have a huge amount of expenses. We want to make sure that our business can feed us, can really support our dreams, and it can even start going to our investment accounts. We start having that just flow and flow and flow, and then naturally our passive income eventually will start to be more than our active income. Okay? So if you want some help growing your business, like maybe like this stuff is like interesting to you, but you haven't thought about it in this way, I just invite you to go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our program, okay? Everything we cover in these videos, either on my YouTube channel or inside our Facebook group, are things we help our students with inside our mentorship program. We generally don't talk about stuff that we don't do ourselves, and we only want to work with you to help you go and move your business towards your goals and make sure that it's a good fit, okay? So if you want to see if it's a good fit, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, book a call with myself. Let's see if it's a good fit. Let's see if I can help you out, okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Have a good one.